At least you have your health.
Health's not good enough.
Not everyone shares your sense of humor.
Health is wealth.
Evolve. Evolve.
We evolve through pain.
Evolv The Podcast.
Andrea and Julie.
It's time to begin.
Hello and welcome to Evolv The Podcast. I'm Julie Saunders.
And I'm Andrea Waycott. And this is the podcast that deals with health and fitness with a smidge of humour. Well, we try.
I think we're funny.
I think we're hilarious. And I even have my mic free-ranging tonight like some kind of rapper on stage. Like I could get up and break it down, but I'm not going to.
We're not going to do that. Andrea.
Come on, it'd be fun.
So,
My name is Andrea. We do a podcast.
Andrea's all...
I like to... Okay.
Andrea's all chirpy because she's been on holidays, haven't you?
I have, and we hired an electric Tesla for 10 days. And
I know that, don't I?
Yes, you do.
Because I got to talk to Andrea every morning for about an hour because she was stuck charging the Tesla.
It was such a pain in the butt. But nice to talk to you.
Thank you. Such a good idea.
In theory.
At the time.
I sort of spent most of my holiday just looking at shopping centre car parks. That's what I discovered because that's where a lot of the charges are.
Well, you've burst my bubble.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I'm super pro electric car, Tesla, other makes are bringing out some pretty snazzy looking ones. And after your little, sojourn away,
it won't work for you. You live in the country.
I'm not interested yet.
When you live in the country and you do lots of Ks, like you do not want to be interrupted by charge time. Like you just don't.
Yeah. No. I don't have time to do charge time, although it will be at my home, right?
Yes, but when you do long distances, like you can only go, say, 400 Ks, and then you're like, oh, right. Got to charge this, otherwise
and
we're going nowhere.
And I think you were saying too, you were going, there's a whole lot of charge, and all of a sudden, no, you only have 8%.
Yeah.
Surprise, a sneak attack.
It's like your mobile phone, you think, oh yeah, it's got 20%. The next second you look at it and it's like battery saving mode. You're like, whoa, where did that happen? It's all the TikTok. But no, when you have your wipers on, your heaters on, any of that sort of stuff, it all uses extra power. I'm like, kid, unplug the iPad. You're pulling power.
You got nothing.
Through the back hills of Sydney. 1 minute we were 20%, next second it was like, you're going to be there at 8%. No!
That's scary. And that would be very stressful. I can well imagine.
God, yeah.
And we live out of town, so that's not good.
Nah, I've decided we are not an electric car family right now.
No, but you've got your eye on something else now. So you want a little fast broom that because petrol.
Yeah, it takes 10 minutes to fill and it gives me a whole lot of fun because it's got soul.
Andrew's getting a BMW.
I want one. It'll probably be 12 months away. But if I am going to be a luxury car wanker, I want to be a BMW luxury car wanker because they're different than Mercedes wankers. They're like Touareg and all that, whereas Beamer's like anybody, anybody who saved their coin.
It really is a bit of, us and them.
It is. It's like Android versus Apple.
Yeah, if I had to choose between the two, I'm BMW.
My dad used to drive old Beamers. I think that's where it comes from too. I think they're cool.
Well, my dad would definitely be in the Mercedes camp.
Would he?
Oh, yeah.
He's a Mercedes wanker.
Yeah.
I know a few of those. Yeah, it's all right.
Well, we didn't have the money to get one, but yeah. He did have an old one for a while, and he loved
a thirsty Merc?
Yes, I think it was.
Yeah, they usually were.
Actually, no, I think it was quite economical. Oh. I'm not really sure.
All right, well, it's been fun talking cars, but really we're here to talk fitness and...
Well, it's the same thing. We just want to recondition your engine.
Yeah, yeah. Exactly right.
That's a segue
I need
you.
an upgrade. If I could only just trade me in and get a newer me, that would be awesome. That's not going to happen. And it was brought to my attention that when we started this podcast, I was supposed to, be on a fitness journey and stuff. And we talked about it and there was a lot to it and I was really committed and stuff.
Well, you were super keen. I see this all of the time. Yeah.
And then I piked it.
Yeah. And, as I know you and I talk to many people, there are legitimate reasons I get. But at the end...
they were legit.
But at the end of the day, what I don't want is in front of me is people who have literally broken down. They've had, a heart attack or a stroke. I mean, there are some of the extreme things, of course, but diabetes and, there are a myriad of things.
We are moving into that age ballpark. Like this stuff could happen, right? So, okay, I need to get...
It could and is.
And most likely.
Yeah.
So... we decided that what about if we did a 4-week challenge? It doesn't have a fancy name. It's just called the 4-week
That's
challenge.
right. Andrew did ask me, what will we call this? What's catchy? And she's very good at it usually. And I said,
Brain dead.
yeah, let's just call it a 4-week challenge. But I might say here, this is not a 4-week challenge to fitness.
No.
This is a
Because you can't get fit in 4 weeks.
Well, not really. I mean, you can pathway in, and there's
Yeah, but
various things.
you're not gonna
but it's not healthy, and
Yep.
it's certainly not a way to not to lose weight, not to gain fitness. It is, taking that journey, those steps to get you on track, to make this, and this is the important thing here, part of your ongoing lifestyle. And I know we hear it all the time, but it is crucial. And these 4 weeks are about us planning and setting up to to get you on track to a fitness journey that you're going to continue.
And I think, we're probably talking to people like me, beginners, who kind of don't have that routine already. Because
Yeah,
if you're into fitness, you're probably already going to the gym all the time.
Do you know what? Yeah, that's right. And
Yeah.
It's not just about people like you who haven't been doing much. Some people, or many people actually, that sit in front of me, they don't want to go to the gym. They don't want to. They don't even like sport. But that doesn't mean this can't be fun and rewarding, and that is the challenge for your trainer, and that is often the challenge, of course, for yourself as well. And what I do guarantee you is if you do this. If you get on board with this and you make, health and fitness part of your lifestyle, I guarantee you will feel better. You will have more energy. You will have a better libido. You will have, less symptoms. If you're perimenopausal or you've got hormonal imbalances. I promise you, getting on this will just make you feel so much better about yourself, and it doesn't necessitate you coming into a gym.
No.
But it does necessitate you planning and committing.
And making it a routine, as you say.
Yeah.
Like, it's got to stick.
That's right. And if you can afford to get some help from, a trainer or someone like myself, then fantastic. But it's not essential that you do that.
It's really bloody helpful, though.
It is, and it will keep you on track. And sometimes it's a matter of committing for, a 12-week period to someone who can help you get on track, particularly if you don't know anything. So, therein lies the importance of what we're going to address right now, which is the planning and preparation for this. Because if you don't do that, if you don't put these foundations down, I guarantee you'll be looking at something like this in 12 months' time going, yeah, I should do this again.
You know what it is?
Really
It
need to do
is
this.
all the planning. It is. I was a smoker. I went and did a smoking cessation course. And yeah, you got medication and you got all that stuff. But the most helpful part of that was just talking to someone and getting your thoughts right about the process. And so I just reckon that this is going to be so handy for those people who are sitting on the fence going, I know I should be doing something, but,
No, I know I should be doing something, but I've tried, I've done it, I've started.
Yeah, but
I've
it's the
started
guilt. It's all that stuff that goes along with being a failure.
And that's what I'm saying. This planning part is about setting yourself up for success.
Yeah.
There's no benefit in feeling bad and guilty and like you have disappointed yourself and others.
Fearful of,
Yeah.
of how hard it is and how difficult, like when you're coming from minus, degrees of fitness, it's really scary because it hurts. Like, it hurts.
And I won't sugarcoat any of this stuff. It is hard work, especially if you are coming from a place of being extremely unfit, or you've had medical issues, or rehabilitation, or your posture hasn't been bad, so you've got aches and pains and things like that. I'm not going to tell you that this is going to be easy. It's not. But I am going to tell you it's going to be rewarding in so many ways. You're going to have the energy to play with your children. Should they be grown up, you energy just to walk around and not feel like you're out of breath all the time. When you wake up, you've got some energy in your day, and you're just not feeling like you're dragging yourself through life.
And relying on coffee.
And rely on coffee. And I might say, having 1 or 2 cups of coffee a day is fine.
No, but
if you're reliant on that and your
Yeah.
caffeinated drinks, your Monsters and things like that, like, get off that crap. Honestly, it's just doing you just all things bad.
So all right, so we're going to do the 4-week thing.
Yeah.
This week is week 1, and we are going to start talking about setting down some
how to
goals.
how to prepare, how to prepare yourself, because I think you have to prepare yourself somewhat physically, but absolutely mentally and emotionally.
All right.
For this,
So-
particularly if you're coming from a place of not doing anything at the moment.
So what would be the first thing that I should start thinking about? What's the first thing?
Well, I think you've got to sort of sit down and ask yourself why. And you might be able to spiel off, I'm doing it because I'm overweight, or I'm doing it because I've got heart disease in the family and I don't want to cark it.
Or all of the above.
Yeah, and there's many reasons
Yeah.
that and usually there are a number of reasons for each individual to do it. But you have to sit down, and I want you to sit down with pen and paper, or make yourself a note on your phone if you want to do it that way. But you need to see it. It needs to be tangible. Why am I doing this? And I want you to be completely honest with yourself. This is not for anybody else to view. I mean, you can obviously discuss this with your trainer or not, but you need to know why, and you need to be able to come back to this and reference, why am I doing this? As I sort of referenced before, is it medical? Is it because I want to lose weight? So it's obviously that. Is it because it's cardiovascular? I'm puffed all the time. Find that, and then dig slightly deeper. Than that. Find, I don't have enough energy to play with my children. I'm tired and cranky all of the time. So, this is not just about the fitness journey. It's about the intake of fluids. We've talked about this on the podcast before.
Yeah.
What you're eating, what you're drinking.
You can always go back to check
sleep
out some of those
patterns,
too.
and we'll come back to that in the next episode probably.
Yep.
So, or one after.
Yep.
So, but essentially right now it's why, and you have to really tap into that, because that is going to hold you grounded to this.
Yep. All right. So we need to think about our why, and then what? Once we've worked out why we need to make the changes for ourselves, or why we want to make the changes, what's the next step?
Well, I think then you've got to say, okay, so
Baby steps.
Yeah, absolutely, and approach this more. But you've got to say, what specifically are my goals here? So I know what my driving force is for this, for life.
So what will that look like?
And you will add to those whys as you go. You will change as a person. But the what now is what are my goals? And you really have to sit down and sometimes people need help with this, and obviously this is where I work through with them. But you want your we've all heard it before, your short-term, mid-term, long-term goals. But start with long-term. Like what do I want?
So start ahead and then sort of work your way back?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Because you probably are going to be unrealistic, and that's where I need to stop most people and say, okay, so they go, they're pretty good with their long-term goals.
Yeah.
I want to be able to, just feel better, look better, all those things. So then you bring them back to that sort of more mid-term, more tangible goals.
Measurable?
Correct. So, where you're going, okay, well, look, let's say in 12 months' time, I'd really like to do a 5K run. Now, some people might go, oh, I never want to do that. And you know what? That's not me either. But everyone has got something that they want to achieve.
Yep.
I'd like to be able to go overseas and go on,
some hikes or...
That's right.
Yeah.
So part of these tours have hikes and bike rides and, some awesome things to do.
And if you're afraid of the fitness side of it, you won't explore
You won't
it.
go.
You
You'll
won't
sit
do
on a
it.
bus. You won't do it. You'll feel inadequate.
You'll miss out.
That's right. So you need to find those more specific goals.
So
for
the
yourself.
what's are from the why, right?
That's right.
The what's are from the why.
Let's not confuse it, right? But yes. So you want to start thinking about, okay, what are some of these goals that I see in my future that I want?
Yep.
All right. That will keep you connected to what you do. That will keep you motivated and accountable. And again, I want you to write those down, and they may change, and you may add to them. And at first, it all feels like, I'm just kind of saying the same thing. I kind of want to just be fit, and I want to, my cardiovascular, I don't want to be puff, and I want to lose some weight. But I want you to then we'll come back to this and start paring back. And I want you then to look at what maybe is some short-term achievable goals and be sensible about them.
Could we create a little form for people that maybe they could come to our socials and we'll put it there and you could download it or something?
Exactly, and you can fill it in. You know, and maybe what we'll do is pop up a little mini questionnaire, which I'll come to in a minute, that you know, if you come then and write, just even if you give yourself 2 specific goals, and that might be for the next 4 weeks with us.
Which is nice and achievable.
So nice and achievable. And so I've had many people come to me and say, okay, so, you know, one of my goals that I want to sort of reach, like my short-term goal is to lose 10 kilos. And it's like, oh, okay. So
maybe not in 4 weeks.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Healthy. 10 kilos, achievable. You know, let's look at the timelines on that.
Yeah.
But I want you to think about in preparation for this, what are my short-term goals? You know, would I be happy at the end of, you know, an 8-week period, for example, to have lost, or, you know, even a 4-week, I've lost 2 kilos, or I'm able to do, you know, and to give you some examples of, I've been working with my clients over the last couple of weeks. You know, some of them want to be able to hit a particular strength goal on a particular piece of equipment.
Yeah, I was going to say, because like my routine is to measure myself on a scale, always. That was how I grew up. Get on the scales, you'll know how successful you've been. Yeah. But that's where I need to change, and that's where.
And you know what? Some people need to do that. So if there's obesity, and we're dealing with that, we actually have to have, obviously, you know, it has to be measurable. We have to see that decrease, and that's what we work towards. But we would set like a 2 kilo goal. You know, that we want to lose, for example, not a 10 kilo one. You know, that is in our future. We look at our long term is like, okay, where do you want to sit? You know, with your weight. You know, as a general, you know, where would you be comfortable? But right now, what are we working towards? We're going to work towards something that's achievable. And once you hit that, you go, okay, I can do that. Yeah, I can do that.
So let's just say we set the goal, I've got to lose 2 kilos in 4 weeks. Let's say I do that. Then what? Because I know me, I'll go, good, I achieved it, job done. What else have I got to do today? Like I would probably start looking
But you've already, I think you've skipped over a number of things there where you've already set for some of your long-term goal is that, you know, perhaps you want to lose 15 kilos.
But how do you stick to them, Jules?
Well, again, so at this stage, I think we're jumping ahead again. So at this stage you want to prepare and plan. You want to write down, as we talked about the whys, we want to write down the whats. You want to, you know, you want to have a master plan of kind of where you're going, and that's really important. And I think then, you know, you want to set yourself up for success. Like if you're going to go to a gym, and that's how you're going to do this, you think that's your best way. You got, you know, friends, family, or that's the thing, whether you've been in a gym before, whether it's your thing or not your thing. But that's been a decision that you've made, so that would be in part of your planning, you know. So you're at the how part now. How do I do this? So if
go get yourself some new runners, some new leggings, because it's always fun.
And I think this is part of the, you know, the how do I do it. So you want to prepare yourself for exactly that. So it might be that you want to invest in something that makes you feel a bit good. So you know, invest in a bit of clothing, some really good quality footwear. And I urge you to do that. And that doesn't matter whether you're working in a gym or you're working at home. So at some stage you need to be out, you know, doing the steps that everyone talks about. So, you know, yes, you want to feel good, you want to feel comfortable, you want clothing that, you know, if you feel a bit uncomfortable with your body, you want something that's easy to move in but, you know, not clingy at all. And then, you know, or if it's something that you know, you feel that you best work towards, you know, aspiring to having, you know, something that's a little more form-fitting, then that's great. Whatever that motivates you, whatever makes you feel comfortable, that's really important. Then decide, you know, am I going to go to a gym? If you are, then research the gyms in your area and and go and visit them. Often, most of them will give you, you know, up to a week's trial.
Oh, so if I go in and I ask, I might receive a bit of a
most of them would. And you know what? It's a freebie, but it's a freebie that allows you to know whether you're going to be comfortable in that venue. And you know, you might only. And what I urge people to do is go and get on the treadmill or a bike. I mean, it's pretty simple to start those things, and you can even ask them to help you do that.
Yeah. So they'll show you how to work the equipment.
And then just sort of get the feel for it. Don't put yourself out there where you're feeling uncomfortable. I don't know what to do with all this equipment. But if a gym won't give you access for a trial for even one session, I suggest it's not the gym for you.
Okay.
To be honest.
Yeah.
You're going to make a financial commitment to that, that venue and to yourself, obviously. So you want to be comfortable. But okay, so that is part of your planning. Decide whether you're in or out of a gym. If you're in a gym, I urge you to take on board, a personal trainer for a period of time. It might be ongoing for some of you, but at least engage with a good personal trainer for 8 to 12 weeks that can set you up. You cannot do it in 1 to 2 sessions. Just can't do it. If you're not going to go into a gym, that's fine as well. You need to set yourself up with some equipment at home, and you don't have to go and spend a fortune. We all know my favourite store, which is Kmart. Yes. Kmart Australia have some amazing things that can get you started. And obviously you need to probably be talking to a professional about what to do. So before you go out and buy anything, before you buy any of your clothing, before you go and buy any of your gym equipment, the next step here is to sit down and in some capacity make sure you are actually medically fit to train. And any good personal trainer will send you out a medical and a pre-exercise questionnaire.
Which I've done.
Which you have done.
Yeah.
And this is where we can really be more specific, and they can prescribe an individualised
Yeah, that's
program
where we
for
say,
you.
I've got a shoulder injury, or I've got this, or I've got that, and they can look
absolutely.
At
So
that.
if you're going to work with someone, then you need to to be very upfront with them. Talk to them. They need to be able to communicate with them, and they need to be able to really buy into what it is you're looking for, and to complement your style and your personality as well.
Let's say I'm not going to go with a trainer. Let's just say.
Yeah.
Where the heck would I start if I didn't have a trainer?
Well, the danger here is there's so much information. I mean, the good thing is there's so much information on the internet, and
like
there's
YouTube and the bits.
all the socials.
Yeah.
And the bad thing is there's most of it is rubbish, and can be quite dangerous, to be honest. And because it's not individualised, they have no idea of your fitness level.
Yeah.
Your medical conditions or any injuries or anything that you have.
Sure.
So you have to be super, super careful.
Yep.
However, I say to people who are going to start, the first and the best thing you can do is forget all the equipment.
Yep.
Start and get your steps up.
Yeah, your steps.
The first piece of equipment that I would buy is a smartwatch. You don't have to go out and buy an Apple Watch or
there's lots of cheap ones out there now.
There is, and they work, and it's just a matter of making sure you can read your heart rate and to know how many steps you're doing.
Yep.
Get a read on that first. And if, let's say, you're doing 3,000 steps in a day on average, then I would say what we want to do is set a short-term goal here to increase that to 4,000 a day, and then build that up in increments, slow and steady.
I like that. Just going that extra 1,000 steps, that's something you go, I could do that.
And where you're aiming there, your longer-term goal here is to be hitting 10,000 steps a day. We are so sedentary. We sit behind desks. We sit and do things. You need to get off your butt and walk. I don't want you to go out there and start slogging it out. I don't prescribe running for any of my clients whatsoever. Now, if they want to run or they're training for something, obviously we will look at that. So that's specific training. But as a general rule, I will have them doing, some high intensity stuff, but very low impact.
Yeah.
So walking is your best friend.
It's
So
fantastic.
That is your best way to start. But before you even start that, those are the steps I want you to go through. Why am I doing this? What is it that I need to achieve? What is it that I'm doing it for, and what can I do? What are my goals?
What do I want to see happen?
Indeed.
Yeah.
And then, how am I going to go about it? So that's kind of like your first week of preparation.
Okay. That seems pretty doable. And we will put some kind of PDF or something that you can download, print off, or whatever. Just keep a look at it on our socials, and we'll put that up, because I think that would be really good if people could kind of have something in front of them, reminders of what we've talked about.
Yeah.
And Jules maybe will go into a little bit of detail with each of those points so you can be reminded what you're supposed to write there.
And any of you that are really keen to kick this off, then DM me and I will send you out the questionnaires, and you can start your process with me.
Because you can train people no matter where they are.
Yeah,
like you don't have to be near Jules. She can do online.
Yeah, I don't have clients. A number of my clients are not in Victoria.
Yeah. So if you are looking for a good trainer, I know one. She's all right. She may have been a gladiator or something. I don't know. There was some talk about that. Yeah. Look, unfortunately for her, I'm her friend, so she has real trouble training me because I tell her to, But you won't.
I don't listen.
So yeah, no. Definitely, if you are looking for a trainer, Jules, and if you do want someone who is close by, and you'd be able to refer someone probably in their area, or
possibly
whatever.
be able to find someone, for you. But I can certainly help you along the way to, asking the right questions. So if you are wanting to go into gym and you are wanting to seek out a trainer, then there are a number of things to look out for that will put you on the right track to getting someone that will work with you.
Oh yeah, you wouldn't want just anyone. It's like when you go to a hairdresser, it's a really serious thing. You want to walk away feeling.
Yeah, it needs to be a real partnership.
Yeah.
And you need to have someone who's really going to engage with you, who's going to personalise that, that program
and
for you.
Proven, experienced,
absolutely.
and fun.
But don't, that's not what you're going to take on, I just do not let that deter you from starting this journey.
Yep.
Your results won't come in as quick, I understand, but anything is good.
Yeah, and we are all about just encouraging you.
But controlled.
And me.
Yeah, so
to move.
that's right. So we want you, slow and steady wins this race, okay? Put your plan together, Foundations first.
All right. Why, what, how. That's the 3 things you need to remember today. Follow us on socials. We'll give you some document to download. And thank you, Jules, for kick-starting and putting a foot up my butt, and it may be someone else's. Because if we could just get...
I'm going to do that when you turn off these cameras.
Turn off the cameras. Even if we could get a handful of ladies, men, whatever, to start thinking about this, we're doing a good job in the universe. We're good people.
That's right. So,
Good
yes.
karma?
I urge you very much to do this, and do this for yourself. Okay, this is not for anyone else. This is for yourself.
That and the swimsuit you got to fit into in summer. Just saying.
Yeah, that's always a thing.
Thank you for joining us. If you wanted to leave us a comment or anything on our podcast, you are welcome to jump onto our socials, or the podcast player that you're listening to this might have the ability to review and leave a few stars, maybe a comment or 2, nice ones only. That would be wonderful. And we hope you join us next week. Now, normally we do this every 2 weeks.
Oh, yes. So we're doing this, every week for the next 4 weeks.
You will get an episode of us in your earbuds every week for the next 4 weeks. Through this week, 1, 2, 3.
Any questions, send them through. No question is too silly. The main thing here is that,
who's going to win the election over in the US?
You get on board. That's a silly question. Get off.
Oh, you said no question was silly. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Did you not see that?
No, I didn't. I've been too busy training.
She's not on TikTok enough. I'll show it to you later. All right. Thank you so much, guys, and have a great week. We'll catch you next week.
See you later.
Evolv the Podcast.
Say goodbye to Andrea and Julie.
This episode of Evolv the Podcast was co-produced by Julie Saunders and Andrea Waycott. If you wish to get in contact with the show, please reach out on social media. You can find us on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook, or email evolvethepodcast@gmail.com. That is Evolv with no E. Thanks for listening. Till next time.